Guys, this video is brought to you by our friends at Lucy. Lucy was founded by Caltech scientists on a mission to reduce tobacco-related harm with a tobacco alternative that doesn't suck. As former smokers dissatisfied with traditional nicotine options, they knew there had to be a better way for adult tobacco users. It was a big challenge, but they did it with their innovative nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine. In each piece, you can get a dose anywhere, anytime. I encourage my friends who smoke to choose Lucy gum over cigarettes or vapes for all the obvious reasons. As you know, nicotine is addictive, so use discretion. Lucy's gum comes in 3 delicious flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Visit lucy.co. Use the promo code Chael20 to save 20% off your entire order. That's lucy.co. Or click on the link in the description. Remember, nicotine is addictive, so use discretion. Conor and Poirier, ooh, boy, things just got fun. So, to speed this story up, okay, I can only speed it up to a week prior to their last fight. So I got to go back a little bit because that was the time that Conor McGregor said, I will kick in $500,000 to Poirier's charity. Poirier is this charity out in Louisiana. I don't fully know what the charity does. I know at one point they built a park. I know they do stuff like in Dustin's hometown. I don't fully know what the charity does, but he's got a charity. It's an honorable thing. They've at least succeeded at building a park. That I can share with you. Conor said, I'll give it $500,000. He never did. So Poirier outed him saying, you never paid the $500,000. We're good. Charity's doing fine. We're moving on without you. But he did out the fact that Conor didn't pay it. And that really embarrassed Conor. It didn't just upset him, it embarrassed him. And I don't know if we've ever seen Conor embarrassed before. Conor fired right back on social media, defended himself, said it was a donation, not a debt. I do not owe this. And I tried to follow where the money's going to go. Your side never got back to me. Your side left this hanging. So don't come around saying I owe you money. Oh, and by the way, our fight is now off. Go back to your old contract. I'm not doing you any favors. I mean, this is how upset and embarrassed Conor McGregor was. And I'll just share for you guys. It'll only be a few times in your life that you'll meet somebody very wealthy. You'll meet some rich people, but very wealthy is a whole nother deal. And I only know a few billionaires in my whole life. Lorenzo Fertitta being one of them. I only know a couple of billionaires, but I actually know them. But I was told this by a billionaire, and he told me, when you get that kind of money, you will attempt to buy things that money can't. And he said, you'll be very hard to ever do a business relationship or transaction with a billionaire where you get a written down contract. So I don't understand. Why is that? And he said, the billionaire will operate on handshake so that he can pay you when it's done, so that he can show you he's a man of his word. He's buying integrity. Something money can't buy. He shared this with me, and I've done a couple of deals with some very wealthy people, and it's true. So I bring it to you guys. I was never aware of it. You probably found that very interesting, but it is true. Rich guys don't want to just buy a yacht. They don't want to buy the fancy car, the fancy house. They're going to do all of those things. Not largely because they're rich, because they're scumbags, and they want other people to know they're rich. They will try to buy things that money can't, and your word is number one. So Conor had his word called into question. Does Conor make a fair point? Based on the limited information we have, based on 160 characters or less, a couple of messages from both of them, Conor says he got left hanging on an email thread on where the money was going to go, and therefore that's why he didn't put up the money. And he's also saying it from the high-handed approach of that's why I didn't send the money. I'm good for the money, but that's why I didn't send the money. No, Conor's not right here. Absolutely not. Conor never said, I'm going to check this. I'm going to vet this. My people are going to follow it up. Conor said, I'm going to put $500,000 to your charity. He did that publicly in the media as a self-serving message to say something about himself that he's a good guy. He then quietly didn't do it. Publicly, he said one thing that privately he didn't do. No, Conor's wrong here. Conor loses this. There was no discussion of checking and where it goes and back and forth and emails. There was a blanket statement said in the press in a self-serving message that Conor felt was worth $500,000. Conor didn't give a goddamn about Dustin Poirier's charity or what he's doing in the park in Lafayette, Louisiana. And by the way, I'm not speaking to Conor. I donated to the charity. I couldn't care less about the park. I did it to look like a cool guy. I just brought it up to you guys and said that I did it, not to help them build a swing set. I said it so now you think Chael's a nice guy. I'm sharing with you why he did it. Conor thought this was $500,000 worth of PR, which is why he did it to the press. Conor didn't want to write the check, which is why he did it and tried to keep it out of the press. That's what happened. And Conor's not going to be any happier about this than anybody else. But at no part of this deal, if you're trying to talk about being man of your word, and that is what they're arguing about, Conor was attempting to buy something that money couldn't, which was integrity. At no part in this did he put stipulations on it. He said, I'm going to write the check. He didn't write the check.